So imagine this. You invest in a stock, and instead of just waiting or hoping for it to increase in value, it starts paying you regularly. That's right, your money will start making money for you while you sleep. Now, this isn't a myth or only a secret strategy that billionaires know about. This is what we call dividends. So now, before we dive into the details, let me ask you this question. Have you ever received a dividend payout yet? If you haven't, don't worry. We're about to learn exactly why they're important and how they can work for you. It's one of the most powerful ways for you as an investor to build your wealth. So what are dividends? Dividends are a way for companies to share their profits with their shareholders. Think of it like this. When you own a share of a company, you own a small piece of it. If the company makes money and decides to reward its owners, it might pay out some of that money as dividends. It's like getting a thank you payment for being a part owner of the business. For example, if you own a share of a company that pays $5 in annual dividends, you get $5 for that share during that year, usually split into smaller payments like quarterly. So if you own one share of this company and it pays a $5 annual dividend, that means you take the $5, you divide it by 4. So that means every quarter you're going to get $1.25 in just cash payout into your brokerage account just for being an investor. Because here's the thing. With dividends, it can turn your portfolio into a massive passive income machine. So let's look at this one example using Yahoo Finance to figure out which companies pay dividends and which ones do not. So let's look at this example here of McDonald's. When you're looking at McDonald's on Yahoo Finance, you want to pay attention to the for dividend and yield section here. So this tells you if you own one share of McDonald's stock, you will get a dividend payoff of $6.68 on an annual basis. So that means if you own one share for the entire year, you would get $6.68. Now this is paid out quarterly. So you could divide this by 4 to figure out how much of this will you receive on a quarterly basis. So obviously the more shares you own, the more dividend payouts you will receive. So when you receive this dividend payout, guess what? You can reinvest this dividend back into the shares, meaning you will be getting more shares over time. Now this is what we call a snowball effect, causing your portfolio to keep growing over time. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds way too good to be true. What's the catch? Well, here's the thing. There isn't one. Dividends is one of the many ways that companies reward their shareholders for investing in the company. Now, of course, not all companies pay a dividend, so you do have to do your research. Now, if you want to figure out what's the best companies to invest in, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment below. And I will do a video later on showing some of my top dividend paying companies. Now, for ETFs, you won't see a forward dividend, but what you will see on Yahoo Finance is a yield. So you should do your research to figure out if the ETFs that you're invested in, if they pay out a dividend or not, and you got to figure out which ones fit your investing strategy.